Hey there! This is lesson 33. It's the very last one for all of Module 4. So, of course, it's word problems. Kind of putting together what you've been learning into kind of real life situations. They're mostly all about food. Even the first one, but it's about cat food. So, I'm going to do for you the first one. There's a couple in here where you actually have to, it gives you tape diagrams, you have to make up your own word problem. But I know students kind of are tired of listening to word problems about food. So I'm just going to do the cat food one. Chase happens to volunteer at an animal shelter after school, which is pretty cool, feeding and playing with the cats. If he can make 5 servings of cat food from a third of a kilogram of food, how much does one serving weigh then? And so we got to think about what is it we're working with. Here's our unit, a kilogram. So let's make our kilogram. That's it. That right there is a kilogram. And he's going to make cat food using a third of it. So let's break it into thirds. Here's the third that he's using. That right there is 1/3 of a kilogram. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make it into 5 parts. We're going to make 5 servings out of that. 2, 3, 4. So you've got 5 servings out of this right here. Now, thinking about what if we had the whole kilogram, because we have to figure out then how much this one serving weighs. And if we're working with kilograms, we have to think about how many we would get out of a whole kilogram. So this is worth 5, this is worth 5, this is worth 5. So we are figuring out, in this case, what is 1/3 of a kilogram. We already have that part. And we can see that this is 1, right here, 1 out of 15 kilograms. So it therefore is 1/15 of a kilogram. And another way to look at that is to say that we're taking 1/3 of a kilogram and we're dividing it by 5. Dividing it by 5. And so the way we've been doing this is we keep what we have. It doesn't do a somersault. It doesn't do the reciprocal. And because this is divided by, this is like 5/1, right? 5 divided by 1, divided by 5, divided by 1. So that's too much division. Let's get rid of the division. And let's have this do the reciprocal. So this becomes 1/5. And then when we go to multiply, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 5 is 15. And so we get the same thing, 1/15 of a kilogram, that we got over here in our picture, because we found that it's 15 parts altogether, 15 pieces of a kilogram, and here's one of them. Now, let's go to the second part of this. If Chase wants to give the same serving size to each of 20 cats, how many kilograms of food is he going to need? So, what we have here there is 1/15 is a single serving size. Oops, I'm drawing the wrong number. I have that 2 in my head from the 20. So I'm going to go back to my blue here. 1/15 of a kilogram. And how many of those are we going to have? We're going to have 20 of them. So if each one of these is 1/15 of a kilogram, here's what it kind of looks like. And we're just going to keep going. And then we'll have more of them. And every single one of them is 1/15 of a kilogram. And all together here, there's 20 of them total. So that's repeated addition. But we also too know repeated addition is the same as multiplying. So we're going to say that's times 20 over 1. And now we can see a multiplication relationship between these two. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 20 4 times. And then when you go to multiply, you have 4 over 3. And you know if it takes 3 to have a whole, you have 4. You've at least got one whole. 3 goes into 4 one time, and then you've got one piece left over, so it's a third. So 1 1/3 kilograms of food is needed to feed 20 cats, 1/15 of a kilogram each. Here's your homework. It's a word problem. Surprise, surprise. An entire commercial break, so we're talking about television. An entire commercial break is 3 6/10 of a minute. If each commercial takes 6/10 of a minute, how many commercials can they fit in that time? So you are taking 3 6/10 and you're dividing it by how much time each commercial is. After you figure that out, the next part of it is a different commercial break at the same length plays commercials that are half as long. So you have to then figure out half of the length of a commercial. It's not going to be 6/10 anymore, it's going to be half that. So how many commercials can they play in that one? So it's going to be doing part A and part B, because your movie was a little shorter. So do A and B. Thanks. See you tomorrow.